Hare Krishna. Namaste. Chapter 4, which is entitled as Jnana Yoga. Sloka 26. śrotrādīnīndriyāṇi anye saṁyamāgniṣu juhvati śabdādīn viṣayān anye indriyāgniṣu juhvati. In this way, we are offering the form, the sound, all those śabdādīn senses into the senses of eyes, ears, nose, etc. And then those eyes, ears, nose, etc. are now offered into the fire of sense control. Some practical examples will help. We'll see couple. If someone is addicted to watching television, then telling the senses to totally stop watching the television will have serious impact. It might become rebellious. So the first step could be to be selective of what is being watched. If you're watching 10 things in a day, just be selective and watch only 8. And after some time, from 8, select 4, those are useful for your day-to-day life, and only watch those 4. Among those 4, categorize now into 2. 2 for survival of one's body, one's existence, and 2 for your Atma, Ujjivana. Ujjivana means to elevate, uplift the Atma from where it is currently. In those 2, one is hearing about Atma and Paramatma, say for 30 minutes every day. Number 2, chanting the names of Paramatma, say 2 mala, that is 108 times 2 of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So everyone can do that, which takes another 30 minutes initially. Then after some time, double the hearing and chanting. That becomes now 2% for body and 4% for Atma Paramatma. Now that means hearing for 60 minutes every day and chanting 4 mala, 4 rounds every day. After some time, again double it. Then it becomes 8 plus 2. That is 8% towards body and 2% towards body and 8% towards Atma. That is hearing for 2 hours every day and chanting 8 malas every day. Hearing also includes maybe split into 2 as reading spiritual books. So based on one's other commitment they have in their life, one can work out this hearing and chanting accordingly, but the idea should be to increase them gradually in a balanced manner. When we start hearing more about Atma and Paramatma and chant more of God's names, then even the 2% that we are using for body becomes spiritualized without even our own realization, our knowledge. Now let's take one more example because this is important. One may be eating anything and everything and anytime without no restrictions. Now we can set up a program for such person. Instead of a step-by-step progress, gradual progress is instead of eating any time, only eat at a certain time. Not munch or drop anything into the mouth as we are walking, passing by. Otherwise, give enough gap after one meal, say 6 hours at least. After we do this one, after we get control of this practice, then the second step is eat at those places where you're confident that it is prepared with hygiene, good quality, not anywhere and everywhere. The third step is eat only at friends and family places where you're confident things are done nicely, not anywhere other than the known people. The fourth step is to start eating only at your own house as much as possible, unless it is absolutely necessary, otherwise to eat elsewhere at friends and family's places. The fifth step is to eat food that are only at your house, or even if you have to be at someone's house, is to eat food only that is sattvic. Sattvic means in mode of goodness. Mode of goodness means food, those are vegetarian food. The sixth step is now going to the next level of not just a vegetarian food, but make that food, vegetarian food, as an offering to God. Make it prasadam and eat as prasadam. In this way, when one only eats food that is offered to Krishna, obviously that food is going to be a vegetarian. Vegetarian means it is sattvic, mode of goodness. Because this person only eats sattvic food now, he will not eat at any places like parties and gatherings where non-sattvic foods are distributed. He will or can't eat anywhere else because it fails his requirement of food, that being non-sattvic, which is not offered to God. Because he doesn't eat anywhere, it starts following a certain time to have his meal. In this way, he is healthy materially and his mind and senses are under control as well. This is just to give an idea. One may very well make their own program how they want to control their senses. The real benefit when one does in this way is that when the sense objects, which is of shabda, rupa, gandha, sparsha, rasa, tries to attack or influence our senses of eyes, nose, ears, tongue, etc., we will not be impacted or affected at all. So, these two yogis, one tries to avoid shabda, rupa, gandha, sparsha, rasa from the senses, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. The other one who tries to control the senses, eyes, etc. Here the two yogis can be considered as brahmacārī and grahasthas. Brahmacārīs offer in the fire of control the sense organs as their oblations. In other words, they look upon stopping the sense from their involvement with the sense objects and controlling them as worship towards God, Krishna. Brahmacārīs means person or a stage before household life. They are called brahmacārīs. Whereas the householders offer as oblation sound and other objects into the fire of sense organs like ears, eyes, etc. This is to say that the householder consider this as their offering to God. In other words, the brahmacārīs completely restrict the activities of senses, whereas the grahasthas involves in those sense activities but with restriction. But it should be understood that both are doing their offering of senses into the fire of sense control. So, to summarize, what we've seen in this sloka are two yogis. One who offers the form, sound, smell, taste, touch into the fire called senses, that is eyes, ears, nose, tongues and skin. And the second one is those senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, are offered into the fire called controlling of senses. śrotrādīnīndriyāṇi anye saṁyamāgniṣu juhvati, śabdādīn viṣayān anye, indriyāgniṣu juhvati. Namaste. Hare Krishna.